Imagine if Dota 2 had difficulty settings. Have you ever wondered what it's like to play Dota 2 on easy mode?
What kind of retarded ass question is that?
The tankiest heroes would turn into the elderly. Team fights would no longer take 3 hours, instead over with merely a simple press of a button. If you've ever wondered that, maybe you should install Sorry, you're in the right place. I'll be frank, every time I finish and upload a video, Valve employs the Rothschild family to conjure a debuff upon me in an attempt to stop me from spreading misinformation and propaganda. But each and every time, I've prevailed against their attempts on my life. Honestly, I don't know if it's pure coincidence that I happen to become gravely ill every time I upload something, but just know that each and every time, I've come back stronger than before. So let's up the ante with more uploads, cause I know the omniscient light got my back. That's right, it's Omniheimer. Omni Knight is one of those special few heroes that's held their place atop the ever-shifting meta of the game and for the longest time, with his win rate staying in the green for the last couple of patches, even meeting the top percentile in a majority. His well-deserved seat above the rest of the roster is attributed to the realization of his incredible flexibility in the game. For a strength hero that's been marketed to us as a support since day one, he's transitioned into every role almost flawlessly. So these days it's no surprise to see a core Omni Knight. Durable and meaty, he's quite an opponent to be up against regardless of which role he's undertaking, and his kit is much like a party mix. He's got something for everyone. Healing, pure damage, debuff immunity, physical damage immunity. Now if you didn't already guess, yeah, we're playing core Omni Knight. This build will prioritize Omni Knight's burst damage potential and survivability, allowing us to lead the charge during the early game. What's our job? Gank lanes, pressure objectives, and control the map. The transition into the mid game should be nice and smooth. We'll further ramp up the aggression and continue to create our own openings for a speedy victory. So let's not waste any more time and jump right in. Pick any lane to your heart's content. Seriously, what do you feel like playing today? Off lane? Mid? Safe lane? It really doesn't matter. Now pick God's strongest soldier and purchase your starting items. Tango's Quelling Blade, Orb of Venom, 1 branch of Fairy Fire, and Blood Grenade. If Grenade is out of stock, just buy more branches. Take E. Make contact with the enemy. Use E on the enemy, farm creep. Is E off cooldown? Use it again. Hit them. Farm again. Level up Q. Use E. Approach the enemy, use Q, beat the shit out of them till they die or leave. Congratulations, you just won the laning stage. Okay, you're wondering how. I'll keep it short and sweet. Your laning stage is very strong, and it's basically one from the start. This is all thanks to your E dealing pure damage. Wait, in fact, your only 2 abilities that can harm enemies deal pure burst damage. Think about it. That's a huge advantage Omni Knight has when starting out. With that being said, our most important task during the early game, apart from hitting creeps, is to abuse our advantage by bombarding the opponent till they are completely blinded by our holy light. In other words, hinder their attempts to farm, force the usage of their precious, limited healing resources, and just fucking kill them. The more we push this advantage and dissuade them from being around the lane, the safer and faster it'll be to get your items up and start snowballing. For your skill progression, it's exactly what you'd expect. E first, Q second. Max them first while avoiding W and ultimate till level 9 unless a point in either is necessary. Now I know what you're thinking, it's just basic core Omni, but don't look away yet, cause this is where the MJK twist comes. With those juicy Sunday donations you'll be gathering, it's time to discuss our investments. If you're in the mid lane, make sure to purchase a bottle before the following purchases. Beginning with the finest Orb of Corrosion, indeed a truly exquisite orb, followed by Brown Boots into Phase Boots, then Phylactery. This build's primary focus is on burst damage, so the only person that should be surprised is the one on the other side of Omni Knight's hammer. The stats on this item really aren't anything too crazy: 200 HP in mana, 7 to all attributes, and 0.7 mana regen. That's okay because we're after its juicy passive. On your next targeted ability, deal an extra 150 bonus magical damage and slow on a 6-second cooldown. This has been the bread and butter of my Omni Knight gameplay. Absolutely my favorite tool for early game domination, and the most fun I've ever had being a magician. And for you my viewers, my first trick, I will make your health bar disappear. Pick it up as soon as possible, but remember to keep in mind your Hammer of Purity, the damage is based off your base damage, so make sure you take the plus 50 base damage count at level 10 and to buy your Agnum Shard as quickly as possible afterwards. If you're not an Archon gamer, you should be looking pretty good and be feeling pretty strong. Most enemies will look at you and shrug it off. They'll consider you a measly anemic mouse of a hero. In reality, you're more of a very friendly Caucasian male walking in the middle of a quiet Wednesday night. You're gripping them with a false sense of security, then shortly after, giving them a closer look at how shiny your hammer is. So don't be fooled, you're not anemic and you're no mouse. At this stage of the game, you're an absolute Giga Chad. You hold all the cards and everyone has their eyes on you. The power is in your hands. So use it to find openings, create opportunities, and go absolutely hard. Evaporate supports, crack some skulls. Just don't let yourself get too carried away and throw away your early power spike into the enemy fountain. Shortly after completing Phylactery, the previously mentioned Agnum Shard will be available to purchase, or it will be in a couple of minutes. You'll need to farm up your shard ASAP. Agnum Shard upgrades your Hammer of Purity, healing you for 30% of the damage dealt and making your next attack fire a Hammer of Purity on a 6-second cooldown. This cooldown is separate from the actual ability and costs no mana, so you can hammer your target twice in quick succession. Also, this basically turns Phylactery into an attack modifier. As for the rest of our core items, well, we basically already discussed them all. Phase Boots, Phylactery, Shard. There's actually only one item missing to round off my part of the build. That being Echo Saber. That should top it off nicely with its very good all-around stats, nice passive, and ability to disassemble if needed. Now it's time for your part of the build. From here, it's your ball game to decide what kind of route you want to go with the chosen extension situational items I've pulled together. You see, these builds, despite not being fit for human consumption, are all about the freedom of creativity and fun. Unless explicitly stated, of course. You can branch out in different directions and expect decent results. Usually I try to have a set linear path that needs to be followed for the sake of my videos, but I feel I'm squandering its true strength and actual potential if I did that. So yes, this is your part of the build now. So take a look at the list, look at your opponents, look at your score, you decide, need some examples? You can build the Echo Saber into a harpoon and go for Assault Cuirass, or you could disassemble it for Bloodthorn and BKB. Or Agnum Scepter. Maybe you can even leave your Echo Saber for now and build a Blink and Skadi. Pretty much the extension and situational items I've included should bolster the main idea of this build, and its overall power, whilst being open in your general approach and problem solving for the remainder of the game. Now before we get on to the home stretch, let's very quickly go over the talents. Plus 50 base damage at level 10, whatever you want at level 15, I usually go Guardian Angel cooldown, minus 6 seconds Hammer of Purity cooldown at level 20, and plus 75% Hammer of Purity damage at level 25. Home stretch. There's just two things I wanted to mention that I probably should have mentioned a lot earlier. When tier 3 neutrals come up, pick Enchanted Quiver. No ifs or buts. Phylactery, Agnum Shard, and Enchanted Quiver is, well, a violation of human rights. And the second thing I want to mention, you can solo Tormentors pretty well. Thanks for coming this far. Let's end it with my finest collection of Omni Knight clips. Enjoy.
I be popping bottles, sparkles and champagne.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay then.
I'm mid, coming down, coming up to mid. Fucking one shot again.
I'm alive. Holy shit. Nah. Oh. Got him. He's barely. Right, surely.
Oh my god. Oh, your damage is just fucked, dude.
Watch this. Nice, Ana.
Killing the knight. I'll take that. Hell yeah.
No. No.
Slowly waddle my way to the team fight.